Xavier Brown from Washington, D.C. I'm an urban farmer. I started an organization called Soilful City. Soilful is a word that describes the feeling of when your mind, body, and spirit is connected with Mother Nature, when you can root it and you're connected to the soil. And that was the feeling that I was having when I first got into urban agriculture, when I first started growing, when I first started to meet all these amazing people that were connected with the earth, that were reconnecting with the kind of ancestral roots, ancestral practices, ancestral ways of knowing. And so anybody can be soulful. Soulful is a global term that I'm promoting around the world. Soulful City is an organization that I started in 2015 to promote agroecology, and urban sustainability to Black people, people of African descent, to reconnect us back to the soil and reconnect us back to natural ways of healing and being and knowing. So Soulful is based and is rooted in kind of Black liberation and returning back to the land and healing ancestral kind of traumas and wounds that happened to us on the land, and things that we were forced to do. And it's about kind of recovering that past and doing things moving forward on our own terms and moving things to another level. And so I'm just one representative of a larger renaissance of Black agrarianism around the country and really around the world as far as like the African diaspora is concerned. Growing food is about liberation, and it's about freeing the land, and it's about just connecting with our higher selves and our deeper selves on a physical level and on a spiritual level. That's what it's about, and that's what we represent, and that's what the other growers that are part of Soilful, that are part of the Pippin sauce represent. The sauce, the idea from the sauce kind of started about 3 years ago. It actually started with the pepper jelly. I had a bumper crop, an abundance of Horace Pippin fish peppers that I grew in Southeast DC, and I was trying to figure out how I can preserve them and how I can make them last. An elder within the community, Mrs. Chestnut, she gave me a magazine that had recipes in it, and I was just playing around doing some experimentations, and I found a recipe that tastes good, and people in my community enjoyed it, and people in their community enjoyed it, and so I decided the next year that I was going to try to scale it up. And so just through experimentation and practice and a whole bunch of taste testing and a lot of mistakes, we came up with the recipe for the fish pepper sauce, the Horace Pippin fish pepper sauce. The reason why we named it after Horace Pippin is because we're trying to hold on to history. So much of our history is tied to the land. So much of Black history is still is not known. And so we're trying to kind of bring that history to the forefront. Horace Pippin is an African-American artist from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He saved these seeds and traded them for some bee stings with a guy named Ralph Weaver, who was a larger seed keeper. And so I got those seeds through a Seed Keepers Collective of Color that I'm a part of. And so I just wanted to kind of continue that history. But I also I realized that history isn't stagnant, the history grows and it continues to move forward. And so I wanted to add DC, which is my hometown, to that history. In addition, I wanted to figure out a way to make urban agriculture economically sustainable for all the kind of various farmers that are tucked away in these different communities around the city. And so the idea that we kind of came up with through research and brainstorming was to have a decentralized system. And so to have it decentralized, if my growing operation goes down, there's still 10 that are still up and running. So nobody's kind of connected to each other, but we are connected to each other in the same way, And so I gave out the peppers for free to about 15 people all around the city and just told them that if you grow these peppers for me, I'll buy them back from you, no questions asked. All I want you to do is just grow them naturally. No pesticides, nothing like that. Just grow them naturally, let them grow, harvest them, we'll weigh them up, I'll buy them from you. And so that's kind of the thing. And so adding those histories, so now the story doesn't just stop as Horace Pippin, the story is added with Xavier Brown, Melissa, Lita, they're added to the story. Bo and Wild's added to the story. Ronnie, Chris, Violet, Zachary, Kevin, everybody. So many people, Rondell, that are added to this story of the Horace Pippin fish pepper. So now, when the sauce is in Puerto Rico, they can be like, yo, this bottle, this dude named Rondell from DC just grew this. Or this woman named Violet grew this in Northeast DC. So it's expanding kind of the network and the story of the Horace Pippin fish pepper. So now, we're kind of leaving our mark on it and creating a way to kind of generate revenue to go back to our business, to kind of increase the amount of work that we're able to do in our community, really towards food sovereignty, and to create a network of growers that can kind of create a community, a network of growers that can produce food for the community.
You know how people gonna buy it anyway, so you still trying to figure that part out.
Yeah, so the flavor, I think it's definitely one of the best hot sauces I've tasted in a while. Of course, I'm biased, but I think it's an amazing sauce. It has a spicy, sweet flavor. It starts off sweet with a kick at the end, and so we were trying to balance it out. You know, we were trying to balance it out between. We didn't want it too spicy, and we didn't want it too sweet. And so we wanted to have something that is, you can use it as a dipping sauce. There's people that use it as gravy. There's people that make mixed drinks out of it. So it's a variety of ways to do it, and we wanted to make it kind of very malleable. So it's almost like Play-Doh. You can form it into anything that your kind of mind can think of. And so I think another unique thing that we did with the sauce is that the label, whenever you purchase your bottle, the label tells a story. So everything on the label is like it tells my life story in a way as regards to urban agriculture, as regards to DC. So it has some DC stuff in there, it has some stuff about my college, it has stuff regarding black farmers, it has stuff regarding Africa, it has some stuff regarding some of the growers. And so I tried to create like a very full experience that went beyond just the sauce. And so when you get the bottle, it's like, damn, I feel like I know the people who made this. You know, this is a very unique approach that they brought to the table.